They wore the table out. Wore the pool table out.
Yeah.
And then
wore it out.
Just it completely wore it out. Then we bought another one years later. and that's where Chucky got into it. Chucky got to be a real Sharpie. And then, of course, he started going to the bars and things.
Yeah, it's called a hustler.
Hustler? Oh, I guess he was.
That's what he used to do. They would... What's his name was up there, Milford, his guy? They used to play with him.
Alan?
Yeah, Alan.
Alan, yeah.
They would go to these places and make money.
Money, yeah.
What are you going to do this weekend? We're going to go to work.
They were real hustlers, yeah, I'll tell you, yeah. The two of them together.
But I didn't know they got their start in the basement, though. I didn't know you guys had a pool table down there before.
No, that was years ago.
And two of them, because you got back to back.
Yeah, and the second we bought, and then, of course, Vince grew up, and so we gave the table to the Schmidt family. Yeah. And they put it up over there. You remember this movie where the guy had the pool table out in his backyard and rained on everything?
Well, something that's real interesting right now is the guy that lives down the street.
Mike?
He was at the house of Paul Zeff.
Oh, Paul Zeff,
of the Zamley family. Now that their kids were there today, and Eileen and Wally.
Wally.
Yeah.
And Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
They moved away, and Paul bought their house. So now he owns it. Take this walls out, pool table.
Wow.
And you go in this house and say, wow, it's nice. The little job
yeah.
And say, look at this. And it's like, boom, it's the parlor.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just don't hear people doing that anymore.
No. They moved out, and their son Paul bought the house. Yeah. And he's still down there. He's still single. Can't find anybody yet. Can't find the one I want, so.
Doesn't want what he wants.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He did, yeah. He set that house up pretty.
Now, was there an athlete in the family, too? Who was kind of the athletic of the group?
Not really.
No.
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 I played in baseball, like in knothole.
Yeah.
They played a little school, 8th grade football.
Yeah.
And when
Vincent?
Yeah, and then when Paul got to high school, he was a year ahead of everybody because he went to school. He was 5 years old. He was already in school. You know, he graduated when he was 17 out of high school.
Oh, wow.
He said, well, if he'd have kept me back another year, so I might have grown big enough to play football. But he was too little.
Yeah.
And Butch couldn't play either. He wasn't big enough. And our kids weren't big, muscular kids.
Yeah.
None of them were, so. Like some of these corn-fed kids.
Yeah.
What was the meal you would always make for the family? Like, did you have some favorite meals?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
My poor mother cooked every day.
It was nothing to cook 3-4 pounds of potatoes for a meal.
Wow.
And we'd mash everything, and I tell you how Nanny used to come down and help, and we'd cook. And,
like 8 kids hungry.
Oh,
Make some
God, yeah.
There's always food on the table.
Yeah, and Daddy about had, and the funniest part was, in the grocery store, things got damaged, dented, cans got dented, or labels came off, and they'd always throw them in a big box, and first it would be a big box full back there. So for a small price, Dad would bring all those home, and we'd never know what was in those cans.
Yeah, for dinner we're having.
Guess what for dinner?
It's true.
And he's big fat.
Guess what we're going to have to the shiny stuff. Oh.
Kidney beans. And these big fat cans, they were really fruit cans. And they had fruit in those number 2.5 cans. And my mother used to say, "Oh, they're either plums or they're pears." Or Shoot.
You guys would have fruit salad for dinner.
Yeah, or cherries or something. Yeah, you know. You could almost tell soup what soup was, you know, but vegetables you couldn't guess. You know.
Yeah. It's the same kind of can everywhere.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, bring those home.
I never liked canned peas. Never ever did like those things. Never did. See, we'll eat some, but
I still don't. I don't like peas at all.
But 90% of, or like 99% of peas in agriculture are frozen every year. And that's what they do now. They used to can it.
Yeah.
Say, people didn't can pea anymore. You can't find canned peas.
Only Del Monte or something they have.
Right.
A little bit, but not many.
That's true. Yeah. But it used to be like popular and something. You eat that stuff. But it's good as frozen peas. That they work good.
I even like.
Saute those.
You just put them in a salad cold. Oh, they're good.
Yeah.
What did you really see change between the way you grew up, Grandma, and the way that, like, my dad and everybody grew up? What do you see the big changes were in, like, family structures?
Oh, God, yeah. When I was a kid, everybody grew things in their garden, you know, and everything was home canned. Mom used to can tomatoes and string beans and stuff like that, and she didn't grow potatoes, but I know beans and we ate a lot of stew, a lot of soup. We always had a lot of soup and beans.
Yeah.
We lived on beans.
Lived on beans. Yeah.
Not pasta like we do today. They use more pasta today than they do beans, but baked beans, string beans, skinny beans.
They've always been growing beans in this area.
Pork chops and round steak. That was my mother's.
Yeah.
Never had hamburger much. I never heard of that.
That's true. Yeah.
Years ago, you didn't hear that.
Yeah, you're right.
With soup, meat, and soup, and maybe chuck roast. You know, that was Sunday. Sunday was chuck roast, mashed potatoes and peas, and slaw. That was Sunday's dinner. And Bob would come down to visit me. He'd say, I'd say, what's your mother having for dinner? And he says, well, what Sunday is this? One Sunday it's pork, one Sunday it's beef, and next Sunday it's chicken. According to which day it wasn't. You could bank on it. Yeah. We never had much chicken when I was a kid at home. It was always pork chops.
Yeah, but fried chicken you would.
We had a lot of fried chicken. I used to fry a lot.
How'd you fry it?
Some cast iron pot that was about this high.
Oh, wow.
About that big, and she would fry these in there. Fry the stuff, and then clean up, and she'd put them back in there and steam them after they were all browned, but not cooked all the way through. And then she would put the cover on it and put some water, whatever you put in there, and veggies and what have you. And then she'd finish and say, "Boy, it had like a flavor to it." It's like holy. People would always talk about, "Oh God, she got the best fried chicken."
Yeah.
They said, "Holy, she's got the best."
When your dad bought a runabout boat, like a little speedboat. Runabout. It was a runabout, they called it. 6 passengers, 3 in the front and 3 in the one. And we'd go every Sunday. We'd go to the river, Ohio River, put them all in the wagon. Sometimes some of the neighbor kids would go along too, you know. And I would get up in the morning. I'd make 3 fried chickens, a big pan of baked beans, and a watermelon, and we'd go to the river. And we were the healthiest that year than any year we ever lived, because we had fried chicken, baked beans, and watermelon. And we'd go up to Ohio River, and we'd boat in and out on the Ohio River.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was fun, yeah. It was cheap. That gypsy owned it. That woman, she had this long hair, and she acted like a gypsy, I swear. And she'd say, "How many you got in that car today?" And we'd say, "Oh, about 8 or so." And she'd say, "Well, maybe $3." to go in and park and use the ramp.
Yeah.
That's all it would cost us on a Sunday.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
God, it must have been fun with the big family just
Yeah.
doing those types of things.
Yeah. Those were the only vacations we had, shoot.
I know.
Well,
Oh,
you didn't
It
travel
was
much.
fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
You didn't have a lot, but you didn't miss it because you never had it, so there.
That's right. Yeah.
Never had a lot.
But you had a lot
Don't
though.
complain.
No.
You had the big family.
No.
You had the love between everybody.
No.
You had the, Dad taking Butch's guitar and learning how to play and
Yeah,
becoming a great
remember
guitar
when-
player.
I
And
say when-
you got
But you got a guitar. He wanted a guitar for Christmas, and Daddy bought him this acoustic. And Butch didn't want it. He wanted one of them hard rock and roll kind electric guitar, and he wouldn't play it. So Paul picked it up and he played it. So Paul would sit up. I know what I was trying to.
brilliant, Dad.
The name, the name of that song every night.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
Give a silver tone. Sears car guitar.
Sears guitar.
Yeah.
I think it was $49. I think that's what it was. And every night, Paul, I know what it was. Paul, I could hear him playing Yellow Bird. Every night I could hear him upstairs playing Yellow Bird on this. That's all you played, and when you go to bed, he'd pick up the guitar and play it. But you wouldn't touch it.
And you two lived in the attic.
Yeah, up in the
Yeah.
attic, yeah.
Must have been pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Great fun.
Now, what was your marriage like when you got married to Grandpa?
Oh, God.
Can you remember?
Yeah, we got married, and we lived out of town. We lived in Hamilton, up here in Hamilton, Ohio. Because he was with the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and you went where the grocery had opening, he was made a manager. Well, he wasn't a manager then, he was assistant manager in Hamilton for a few years, and then he was made a manager in Middletown. He was in Wilmington. Then he came down, he was over here in Milford.